Oh yeah.
Check.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Back like we never left.
First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Coming in hot. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
All right. All systems go. It's a love supreme.
Yes. Love indeed.
Welcome. Good morning. You're in the 7th season of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
It's going down. It is Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. Thanks for joining us for a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Yes, sir. In the morning.
Yes. My name is Paul B. I got my man Buddi3 Da Gawd in the house.
Yo.
All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us. It's the middle of the week. Pop's favorite day. He loves him a Wednesday. He says good morning, good Wednesday morning, and love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pop.
Yes. Putting the love in the love supreme.
Yeah, man. Season 7, Love Supreme. It is going down, and time is flying. Time is steadily approaching. You know, we go on break about June 15th.
Man,
we're only a few months away.
Yeah, we were halfway through the season already.
Yeah, man, halfway through the season already. So welcome. Shout out to the radio listeners over there on the channel. You can go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the listen button, check us out over there. Trying to build that radio channel back out as well. So get on your Alexa and say, play First Sky Omaha Radio and check it out.
Yeah, man.
Busy with it. We got some people in the chat already, man. Jumping in. Tamika Johnson gives us some sunshine. Good morning over there on YouTube. Mark Manor in the house. What's up, man? We got Mark on the mic. I don't know if you saw it, but Mark did an interview on a local channel. It looks like a local channel that I wasn't hip to, so got to see that. Got to hear some stories, some Prince sightings of his and stuff like that.
Oh man,
yeah, man. For those of you that don't know, man, check out Omaha Buzz. We got a Chad Chimer, Mark Manor, who is the authority on the music scene in Omaha and has been a part of it for years and years. Wealth of information, and I'm glad to see you busting out, man, on some podcast tips and some other stuff. It's good to see. It's good to see article writing, deep dives.
Man, doing the thing, man. Doing the thing.
So that's what's up, man. Coming into our world with this, and always. Enhance your LP collection over there at Homer's for real.
Man.
Yeah, you ain't nobody.
You're right.
You're as cool as your record collection. You're as look at Buddy with Stevie Wonder in the background. Come on with it.
Not just Stevie. You got to represent for the North Side. Got Uncle Bud up there too. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Yeah, that's that Buddy Miles. Yeah. Got to represent for the North Side.
That's what's up. Lady Keister gives us a What's Up Wednesday. We are planning on doing a little vinyl party coming up here too. I'm gonna try to make it happen this summer.
Man,
yeah, it's going down.
Vinyl is the way.
Say again.
Vinyl is the way.
Yeah, man. Got to do it. We got to do it. Hi-Fi house style for real.
Man.
Amy H died. I ain't seen your name in a minute. She said, "Good morning, fam. Been a minute. I hope all is well with y'all." Thank you. Appreciate
Back at you. Hope all is well with you and the fam and all things.
Yeah. Kimra Snipes says went to the board meeting Monday, a school board meeting Monday. People trying to ban a couple of books. The perks of being a wallflower.
Wallflower. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's interesting. I tuned in on YouTube to look at the school board meeting, and all I saw was Kimra sitting in the audience with maybe one other person, and then
really
the board, and I was like, I don't know if anybody else was there, but it looked like wasn't nobody there but Kimra at the meeting. So, me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, man, they trying to ban that? Too much,
man,
too much. We're still looking forward to having Brianna full on. She's been very busy lately, but
oh yeah,
we got somebody from her crew coming in on today.
Hey.
So that's what's happening, man. Clarice Dombeck will be joining us a little bit later on to talk about the position she's running for, and give us some updates. What's going on? Fabric Lab scene and all that, man. So
Man,
I look forward to speaking with her. We got with her as a special guest today, and we got Preston Love as a special guest Friday. So tune in for that. Guests coming up. But in the meantime, between time, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling?
man, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right.
Ramadan going.
Yeah, Ramadan is going well. Ramadan's going well. Yesterday kind of hit a wall where I got super tired, like in the middle of the day. I had to take me a nap.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm doing good, feeling good. Um, and in addition to like me fasting, as I mentioned, it's also a time of like sacrifice and service.
Yeah.
So you've been giving some things out, some food out to the folks, and doing just trying to do what I can when I can. But yeah, feeling good. Energy is still high. My sleep's a little off, but we here. We doing the thing. We doing the thing.
So what's up, man?
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Want to hear more about that clarity of mind that you get from doing what you're doing. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of revelations just come. Just reflection. It's just a moment of reflection.
Love it, love it. I'm good. I'm good. Just just steady rolling, trying to get bearings and move forward. Having good conversations about pushing First Sky Omaha in a the direction that we have been going already, and trying to
Yeah.
reach some goals and all that. Feeling pretty good about that, and and just working on building out the team now. So that's the next step. The next step is to gather folks together. Really kind of we need to put somebody on helping us put some events coming up this summer, especially. I love the planning of what's going to come after this, because this is the pretty much the last season of this iteration of First Sky Omaha. We're going to be making some changes for what would normally be called season 8, but we're kind of starting back to at season 1
Yep.
with a new style. So yeah, just thinking, just thinking about like all the plans that we have that are coming to fruition, and feeling good about making the changes. So that's what's on my mind,
Yeah, man.
and all that good stuff. Let us know what's on your mind. Let us know what's happening. We're gonna get this show started once again. You're listening to a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I am Paul B. He is Buddi3 Da Gawd.
Hey,
Love it that we got the chat chimers in the house. Ghost listeners, very important to us as well.
squad.
And radio listeners growing by the day. So appreciate that very much. Let's get it rolling. Welcome.
Let's start.
What up? What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. It's Crew 630. Let us know how the mix was on the radio. Appreciate you very
Hey.
much. Appreciate everybody that's coming into the chat. Ariel's 402. A little early, so hit the like button on your way in. Hot the like button, if you will.
Yeah,
Make
man.
it hot. Make it
Make it
hot.
hot.
Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning, letting us know that Facebook is working this morning. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming in on Facebook. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Good morning to you as well. Ariel's 402 says, I never met a mirror I didn't like. Reflection. I love
Man.
reflection.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Mama God in the house. Good morning, fam. Good morning, Mama God. How you doing? Anthony Rogers Wright in the chat said, peace, siblings. What's going on, bro?
Peace.
Where you at? Where you at in the world these days? You in
Yeah.
town? What's happening with you?
Where's the campaign trail taking you?
Yeah.
And when y'all coming back to Atlanta? I know you got that Cop City event coming up. Let me know. I'm trying to pull up.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And
man.
when you
Yeah.
say y'all, just to let you know, just to remind you, Anthony Rogers Wright is on the campaign trail with Dr. Cornel West, who's also running for president.
Yes.
He was out here a few months back. We look forward to having him back again. Cornel West 2024. Appreciate you taking the time this morning to come on through, bro, because we know you're busy with the brother. So,
Man.
yeah, that's what's up. Kimber says she's going to head to Louisville, Kentucky, where Breonna Taylor was murdered, next month to present authentic allyship to the Black Love Philanthropic cohort. That sounds very complicated. A lot of words, a lot of big words in there. A lot of big ideas there too.
Oh, okay. Too many
Yeah.
big words before your drunk ship.
Man, yeah, you know what it is, man. Hey, I mean, that's a when you look back at this comment that she just made. I mean, it's it's chock full of all kinds of thoughts and feelings and all kinds
Man,
of stuff.
it kind of did throw a lot of thoughts into that
Yeah,
one thing. I'm
yeah.
kind of curious. What is this Black Love philanthropic cohort? What is that? What is that?
What is that? What is that? What does authentic allyship look like? And I
Mm.
can't wait to if you're presenting, I'd love to hear what you're presenting on that. And then yes, we're Breonna Taylor. We still have stuff going on with cops out here torturing black folks and all kinds of stuff going on.
Man, man,
Yeah.
man, man. Yeah, yeah.
Anthony Rogers Wright says, "What's on my mind is Ant-Man Dunk." That was black on black hate crime.
Man, I heard about it. I haven't seen it. I'm about to check that out, man. John
Yeah.
Collins. Yeah, hope you're all right. Hope you're all
I,
right.
I didn't know what was going on. All I saw was somebody jumping from the free throw line over somebody and then just dominating somebody and then
What?
slam dunking old school style.
Man, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, in everything nowadays, I know we're not really into sports, but man, if you're in the old school, physical, take it to the hole,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan,
Right.
man, that's Ant-Man, coming out of
Okay.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Check out the Timberwolves.
All right. And caught my attention.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Everything's a 3-point days. Somebody need to take it to the hole.
Right. Bo Youngblood gives us a good everything. What's going on, bro?
Peace.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you on the West Coast getting up early with us. Anthony Rogers Wright said, "Y'all my alarm clock." I heard
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, y'all my alarm clock too.
Quite literally. Like, what time is it? What time?
Ariel's 402 reminded us about the Michael Jackson idiom. He wanted to make a change. He said he started with the man in the mirror.
Man.
It never gets old. That's where you got to start.
Oh yeah, man. Self.
Yeah.
Everybody focus on bettering themselves. The whole place will be better.
Man. Kimber Snipes says, "I talked about my authentic allyship training that I created after being fired from a local institution." Yeah, we need to update on that. Authentic allyship.
Yeah, actually, we might get into that a little bit today. We talk about allies in the legislature all the time. What does authentic allyship look like?
Glad you reminded me. Y'all been watching the legislature lately? People gonna stop watching General Hospital and One Life to Live and start watching the legislature regular. That's gonna be the stories, the new stories.
Man, one
It
bill
was
to pass.
it was hot. It's hot this week. I'm thinking like it was this week. It's only we're on the third day of this week.
Yeah, it's only hump day.
The
We ain't even
last
over the hump.
I said I watched it a couple days this week, and I guess that means I watched it Monday and Tuesday because it's only Wednesday right now. It's been hot, bro. I've been wanting to like go back and cut clips out and show the
Yeah.
clips. Yeah, it's been hot. It's been hot. We'll be talking about that for real.
Yes.
Kimber Snipes says Pamela Jolly from Torch Enterprises is doing a 2-year cohort with funders in Louisville. I'll be doing the training for funders. Okay. There's a lot of good information on that. I can't wait to read your notes there.
Yeah.
Amy the H dot says, when you haven't seen Kimber's authentic allyship training is so good. I haven't seen it. No, I gotta get down with it. Just helping them understand how to be better allies in the funding world. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you are keeping up with still doing that. So yeah.
Give it a loop.
Yep. So special guest like we said, Clarice Dombeck is coming today. Stay tuned for her interview. Should be interesting to catch up with her and talk to her about a few things that's going on, plus her run, and also we got to get into the legislative session this week, man. That's been crazy. All in the news. There's people sitting there. It's like breaking news each day. This happens. You come home about 5 o'clock. They already talking about what happened in the legislature.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So as a matter of fact, let's jump into a couple of articles that we got lined up to dive into this subject, if you would.
Yeah. Kind of like Paul always calls it, the great American drama coming out of the state capitol. Legislature is going down. A couple of stories that we've been actually already looking at and getting some updates on, especially that DACA conversation we had. Again, Senator Wayne proposing to allow DACA recipients to serve in the law enforcement. And apparently state lawmakers are having an about face. This is now, again, the second time we're hearing about lawmakers completely changing their support on a bill. Again, wondering why. Also coming out of the legislative drama. This is real interesting. A rural-urban divide. This is something we kind of talked about with the LB 1024 money. Again, if you remember, Senator McKinney pointing to like a little greed again that certain senators didn't want to work with them. Speaking about allies to get funds for North to South Omaha, and now Senator McKinney has found a way to get some funds diverted from rural efforts to urban efforts, i.e., Omaha and in housing. So some housing funds coming out of that conversation. But again, quite interestingly, Nebraska Examiner's headline reads "Rural Urban Divide." So yeah, we're definitely going to talk about differences between rural and urban living and maybe some similarities. Also, drug penalty enhancement debate, something that Senator Wayne kind of alluded to on Monday. Definitely going to get into what's going on with this whole drug conversation. If you remember, one of the other bills that lawmakers had an about face on was Senator Megan Hunt's needle exchange bill. Again, what's going on with all these senators changing their opinion? We'll definitely look into it. Also, as Paul mentioned, we do have Sister Clarice Dombeck coming on a little later, looking at what's going on with the Omaha Metro Transit Authority. Apparently, Omaha's transit situation will be expanding past the bounds of Omaha later on this year in August. Exactly what does that mean? We don't really talk about transportation, at length here on the show, but definitely want to get into what does that mean? Again, transportation. I know Paul B, you had some classes out in Metro that, you had to take a bus, a plane, and a train to get to.
Man.
So yeah, we'll definitely
Hitchhike
talk about
right
it.
on somebody's back, hop on
Man.
the donkey, take the booter up the mountain, all that.
Man, all that. You name it. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that and more. As always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to let us know, man. Jump into the chat, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yep,
What's the
yep.
word?
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody coming in this morning, bright and early, giving us the good mornings. Do us a favor and share the show. If you are on Facebook or YouTube, you can share the show on your page. Get as many people in the conversation as we can. Love to have even more people share their voices on some of these issues. And just a reminder, we really appreciate you guys. We don't do this show without the chat chimers. The chat chimers are the ones that come in there. You guys are our co-hosts. You guys are the ones that drop information, give us updates on things. We got some haps a little later. Get your haps together as well. And it's always a great discussion, and it's very valuable discussion too. A lot of people around town are interested in what it is that we are discussing and have to say and have to think about it. A lot of organizations I'm finding out that don't do the best outreach that maybe they need to do are definitely feeling like this is a valuable situation here. They can get a pulse on what's going on in our neighborhoods and the people that are in them and what we feel about things that are going on topical in the news and things that are happening. And other people are finding it valuable that we are bringing on the senators and we're talking about the unicameral in the legislature, and we're providing a sense of education when it comes to figuring understanding the processes here and seeing what's going on. I know that on our journey, I have absolutely learned tremendous amount thanks to you, the chat chimers, our guests, and us digging into the news and digging into the things that we feel are important to our neighborhood, to our neighbor. Got a little short in the cord, to our neighborhood. So shout out to everybody who's been a part of this whole process. We are on season 7 in this process. For those of you who don't know, we do 2 seasons a year. So we're on season 7 right now in this process. The season is entitled Love Supreme. And we say that because we understand that everything that we're doing and everything that is done that's worthwhile really comes from this idea of having love for yourself, love for your community, love for your family, love for trying to help people live a better life in your city, love for your city, love for everything, just love supreme, love rules. So that's what it's all about, and that's the approach that we're taking now in the discussions that we have. We don't say a prayer before the beginning of the show, but as far as as far as the tone, we set the tone by saying we have love and respect, and for everybody involved, and that's what the tone of the conversations are. So appreciate everybody that comes on and sticks to the tone, sticks to the style, and I feel like we really get some good conversations happening, some movement happening when we do. Yeah. How you feel about that, buddy?
Yeah, man. That's definitely the energy. You can't really man, you gotta spread love, man. That's definitely was missing a lot here in this world. One thing that I've grown to love or learn is that a lot of people are, raised on survival rather than love. You just gotta make it, just gotta make it, just gotta make it. Which sometimes don't leave a lot of room for love. But if you ain't got love, then what you got really? What do you really have? And actually, I was listening, just doing some meditation, listening to a video, and kind of got an interesting perspective on love, as far as like love being what aligns with you, and you not doing things that to please other people, or to and not in a selfish way, but at a certain extent, it's okay to be selfish. Like, what are you doing to take care of yourself? What are you doing? Like, do that art project that you've been telling yourself you're going to do. Do those things that you're telling yourself that you're going to do, and you never know how that's going to inspire the next person. You never know how that's going to, spark something in someone else. You never know, that might be the service that you're supposed to give to the world. When you're doing what you're supposed to do, as far as your passions, your desires, as long as those within righteousness. But whatever's in your heart, follow that, and you never know how that might impact the world. That's your piece.
That aligns with a video that I've been getting some inspiration from for the past few days, which was talking about don't hesitate on on doing that for yourself,
Right.
and coming up, and don't hesitate on grabbing your blessings and pushing. Sometimes we can get caught up in saying in our progress and saying we're doing this progress for us, but really you're doing this progress for everybody around you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the love. If it's a business venture, then go ahead and get your money up, because as soon as you get up, then you know that you're here to be around and help your friends and family, and they come up, and they also come up by just your example. If you're doing a project, you're doing something, you're getting it down. I'm really understanding that they just watching you complete tasks and do the things you're trying to do, inspires and helps them to do what they got to do as well. So put that sense of urgency on what it is you're doing, not for yourself, but for the fact that other people, you want your other folks to come up right now. If you had your wish, then they would be right now taken care of. So think of it that way. Do what you got to do for yourself now in order to take care of them now.
Right.
So it put a little bit fire under me, and a little sense of urgency on what it is that I'm trying to do to build out First Sky Omaha even more, and get to the point where we can bring in some other folks, build teams, hire folks, and be able to support other ventures in not just news, but business, black business in general, education, building of wealth, the utilization of content creation tools, like all the outlets that we have for Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, if it's still going to be alive.
Man,
Yeah, all that good stuff, man. It's all, it's all out there for us to be able to learn and take advantage of and come up. You
there you
know,
go. There you
provide
go.
money for you and your families and so on and so forth. So we working on it, and we just really appreciate the journey that everybody is on with us when it comes to these things. So
Yeah.
shout out to
Man.
y'all.
Y'all in the chat, let us know. Is any of this resonating? Are we missing the mark? Let us know how you feel, or let us know what you think about that. But yeah, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. Yeah, in the meantime, between time.
Well, or Eros 402 says church. He must be resonating with him, like Slim
Okay,
Thug.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Let us know something. Let us know. So I feel like we kind of just went on a rant.
Uh,
Yeah, let us know. Let us know.
nah, it's all good. I think it's good to let people know where we're coming from with it. With our
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
attitude too.
Man,
Uh,
if we haven't told y'all, we love y'all.
Supremely.
Yes, yes.
Kimber Snipes in the chat. She says, speaking of races, you remember that she's running school board. She says, my opponent in the school board race asked someone to ask me to drop out of the race. That just means
Hmm.
they threatened. Don't worry about
Right, 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 right. I ain't even asked you directly, huh? I'm like, you think you can holla at them.
it. Yeah. She says, I know y'all don't care about sports, but Grambling is playing in March Madness.
Okay,
That's what's up.
okay.
Yeah. It's not that we don't care about it. We just, I focus on other things. Buddy looks at it more than me. He keep
Yeah,
up,
a little
keep
bit.
up with what's happening.
A little bit, but quite honestly, I've been, focused on work a little bit more, trying to put together these headlines and things like that, which is, a process. Usually I will watch some sports, throughout the day as I'm working, but nah.
Been working a little bit tougher these days.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Can't
which,
do
if you have a TikTok account, go check us out. First Guy Omaha, the TikTok account. If you don't have one, go ahead and get one in the last days of TikTok.
man, why you can? Why you
Go
can?
check it out. Yeah, if you feel funny about it, just remember that any social media platform you're on are asking for all the same information, and that's just what it is. So, yeah, it's interesting, and we that's why we had to kind of broach the subject about TikTok and the way that they're trying to control information. And this TikTok ban is not just about TikTok; it's about all the social media platforms. Anything that they think is something that they don't want out there, they want to control and stop and push away and all these things. And it's happening everywhere. So, how do you get your information? As a matter of fact, I got to bring this up
Okay.
because shout out to Sherman Wells who put this on his page. I don't even know if you guys remember Smoking Doja.
Man.
This cat is always out here with the food, man, and he lets us know through Facebook. But they banned him on Facebook for three. They do the 3-day ban for a picture that he
What?
posted October 2015. And so,
What?
right as he's out there cooking. You know what I'm saying? He's out here cooking up on 30th and Spalding, where he's been lately, and letting everybody know, yeah, come down. This is his bread and butter, man. He's out here
Man,
with
so
his truck, huh?
I was saying this is how he eats.
Right.
By feeding y'all.
Be out here with his truck. You know what I'm saying? And he'll get on social media and let us know what's happening, and let us know where to go pick it up. But anything come up. A picture that he posted in 2015 got him banned for 3 days, which probably hurt business. So here we
Man.
are as the community. Sherman Wells is like, yo, post this around, let everybody know where the Smoking Doja's out here cooking up, and go hit him up. Mr. Smoke Signal, Wines and Things. That's the cat. And
Man.
and this is how we do it. So our network of people that we talk to and hang with, and we know this cat. This is a friend of ours. So it's like, yeah, man, get the word out. We got to get the word out. Everything comes down to word of mouth all the time, because you
Man.
can't trust the social media sites and stuff like that too. So we're working on some ideas, man, about how to really have better communication. This is the ongoing thing that we talk about and try to work on all the time. It's ongoing discussion to figure out how we can communicate better with everybody in our neighborhoods. And it really kind of is based on the word of mouth theory. It's really got to be that. But that means you got to live alive with one another, get
There you
together,
go.
have conversations,
There you go.
use each other's
Community.
phones, make a phone call. Email addresses are huge. We're about to start that campaign because we got a newsletter that we want to drop. And we found that a newsletter to the email address is the best form of communication. If you do it over social media, you got to deal with the algorithms. You got to deal with suppression. You got to deal with Facebook and YouTube owning the material, a lot of
Man.
things. But if you clean
Fact
your
checking.
fact checking all the stuff, but if you clean out your inbox and you sign up to a few newsletters that you trust, then you can get your information directly without the algorithm blocking it and all that. So, man, we got to go back old school. Clean out your email box and let's get our email addresses together and speak to each other directly.
There you
So,
go. Man. Kind of reminds me of like the music industry, hearing a lot of people talking about going back to physical models and things like that. Like, man, it's we gotta go back, man. We gotta go back to living alive with each other. Go back to real life. Let's not get lost in this digital space.
so true, so true. Stephen Abraham, good morning. He says we made it through another rotation. Good morning, Grand Rising. Appreciate you,
Yes, sir.
appreciate you. Michelle Moreno says, I was just going to say that about which thing. Let us know.
Been talking about a little bit.
I know I missed her comment when it happened. Ariel's 402 said he just quit his day job and is doing this full time. So there you go. Smoking Doja
Man.
quit his day job, doing this full time, and now running into problems like that. A platform that he depends on to get the word out. So, maybe he better start doing some actual smoke signals. Look outside. It's like, where's Smoking Doja at? There go the
Okay.
smoke.
Okay.
Doing all the smoke.
Yeah, man.
Ariel's 42 says famous Dave's doesn't need your money.
There you go. They showed on.
Man,
Showed on.
smoke signals is better anyway, bro. Kimmer says a happy birthday to Sherman too. Okay, didn't know
Oh,
that.
okay. Hey, happy birthday.
Yeah. Mark Manner says I've been doing the direct to email. It's been working well. Right on. There you
Nice.
go. Testimony.
Nice.
Love
Yeah,
that.
so yeah, it might be opportunity. Well, ain't no might be or opportunity. We're gonna be asking y'all for some emails here coming up. So, hook us up, hook us
Yeah.
up, hook us up.
And little inside information too. I don't know if you got this email from Chris Bowling over at Flatwater Free Press, but he's going to be starting up the Read More newsletter
I did see that.
from the old school reader.
I did see
So
that.
yes, it's about to be the season of the newsletter this year, bro. For real.
Man. I think was it called Flatwater Omaha or something like that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I remember what it's called, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to. He did a lot of work on that Read More back in the day, and that Read More was the baby of John Heaston, of course.
Mhm.
And I love that it might continue on. So we're looking at maybe being kind of working as like the Reader's Digest of some of these newsletters as well. So let us know what you want out of a newsletter. What kind of information you trying to get. If the newsletter works for you, do you have your notifications on so when you get an email, you see what's happening and you get the rundown of what you need for the day? Like we're kind of working these theories out here. So give us some feedback on that. What newsletters do you sign up to? And how often do you go and check your email for those newsletters? How do you keep up with your news through the newsletters? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Also, we do want to work with some partners too. So I see Kimra in the chat. You know, we want to hook up with you too. Still want to approach this from a neighborhood perspective. Look at that whole effort from a neighborhood perspective as well. You know, we're talking about dissemination of information, and there's some channels that certain individuals in our community they might not be watching Channel 7, or they might not be reading the Omaha World Herald. How do we get information to them? So again, yeah, we'll be talking about that.
So Mark Manor says that is where I got my headlines was that newsletter. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
man.
Man. That's I actually used to put that together as well as a part of our
I
partnership with
forgot
the
about
reader.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Put that together about a year, actually.
Buddy was on Read More. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Pops in the chat says maybe the drunk ship contest should be offered among those who give their email addresses. Thinking the same, Pops. That's definitely going to be an
Mhm.
aspect of the contest coming up.
Yes,
Speaking of which,
yes.
and thanks for reminding me. Speaking of which, this show is brought to you by Drunk Ship Coffee.
Hey.
The family put a coffee company together, man, and they source the beans from one farm in Ethiopia and ship them over here and ship them to California. And they get down. They just sent me a shipment in order to check for people to take a look at it. And so we're gonna do a little contest with them. Shout out to Drunk Ship for helping us with that and giving us some coffee to be able to give away. Coming soon, and you'll be able to check it out. But in the meantime, go to drunkshipcoffee.com and order your beans. It is not sold in a ground form, which is the best. You know, it's best to have a whole bean, open that bean up, and grind it yourself, and have a
Fresh.
fresher cup of coffee. Right. Plus, man, the research that I've been doing, with the family on this coffee world, got me real skeptical about anybody buying coffee in ground form because they
Really?
oh man, be sweeping them up off the floor and all kinds of crazy stuff. They'd be stuff all
Mm,
right.
be cutting it, stepping on it.
Yeah, bro. Be stepping on my coffee, coffee grinds. Yeah, so yeah, man. So invest in a grinder, get you some drunk ship. Shout out to them for looking into this, man. It's fun when you start a new business with the fam and you can kind of like deep dive into the history of things. You know, we learned that just this year I learned that coffee came from Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? Like it was invented in Ethiopia, and
Man.
then there was a genocide that a genocide that happened in Ethiopia by Italy, and now and then lo and behold, now they're claimed to be the birthplace of coffee and
Yeah.
cappuccino and espresso. Like yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. So shout out to love the journey of learning as you go and all that good stuff when you're doing something. So shout out to the fam for doing that. Arrows 42 says, can First Sky be a distributive drunk ship so postage and handling can be paid once? I have to think
It's a
about
thought.
that.
It's a thought.
Think about that.
Hmm.
Also, most countries use freeze dried coffee because of access to water.
Mm.
Yep. Yeah, we're learning all these things, man. It's a real cool situation. Love it. And I'm a coffee head, so I'm definitely about it.
Man, I
Definitely
still need
about it.
that drunk ship tea. Let me know when that rolls out.
Like I said, I thought that was coming first because
Man.
we talking about the cousins are tea connoisseurs that do the ritual and stuff all the time with the teas, bro. So I'm sure that's coming. Pop says next time you're in Vegas, we'll go to an Ethiopian restaurant where they perform the coffee ceremony. Thanks, Pops. That sounds great.
There you
Yeah,
go. There you
what's
go.
up? Let's go. Let's jump into it, man. We kind of lollygagging here on a Wednesday, 7:34. We got a special guest coming in pretty soon. Stay tuned for her.
Hump
Clarice
day.
Dombeck in the house. But yes, it is Hump Day, Pop's favorite day, Wednesday, and it's kind of Women's Wednesday today too. So shout
Yeah.
out to Clarice for coming through.
Got the
In the
sister.
meantime, between time, we got to tell you about this unicameral, this the legislative session.
That's where you want to go with it? That's where you trying to hop into?
I mean, if you want to jump into something first, go ahead. But that's you ain't been watching the last couple of days. I'm trying to tell you right now.
Well, let's go ahead. Let us know what's happening. What's happening? Because you're right. I have not been watching. We got a couple articles talking about it. Very interesting, as far as the articles. But you've been watching the thing. What's you been some tears and some yelling and what's going on?
Uh, let's talk about it through the scope of the stories. But I got to tell you, I haven't seen Senator Wayne this fired up in a minute. Senator McKinney came in like a powerhouse on a couple things
Mm,
and got some amendments passed and then there was and the other part of this thing is they're doing late nights too, so they're like going late, which which is I'm sure their nerves is frayed and man it's incredible. So when the brothers came on Monday, they said that this week was going to kind of be like North Omaha week a little bit, and
yeah, a little
they're
bit.
gonna be pushing and fighting and trying to push some things in and put some amendments in and do some things and that's exactly what's been happening. But it's been on top of all the other stuff that's been going on. It's been all the other bills that have been priority bills are being updated. They got movement. There's debate going on. They're calling for votes.
Man,
You can feel that the session is coming to a close, and they're busting right now in a big way.
it's a mad dash.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's jump into a couple of them, man. Some updates on some of the things some of the bills that we talked about before, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for
Mm-hmm.
sticking with us. Yeah, let's jump on in, man.
Yeah, man. Again, definitely want to dive into this. Starting with this rural urban divide. This is kind of jumping out to me, man. It's interesting. It's something we've been talking about and trying to. I personally been trying to wrap my head around it as far as where do things align, where do things differ. What does it all mean? And apparently, there's some tension growing in what Senator McKinney is calling a win for equity. This coming out of Nebraska Examiner. Apparently, Senator McKinney has won approval for a budget amendment just yesterday that will shift $7.5 million from a rural workforce housing fund to one that develops housing in urban areas. This is coming out of the Appropriations Committee. Earlier had proposed directing about 25 million into affordable housing efforts, 20 of which was to go to the state's rural housing fund, and about five for middle income workforce housing fund used largely in urban Omaha. So again, kind of lopsided. You're talking about 20 million for rural areas versus 5 million for urban Omaha and Lincoln areas. Under McKinney's amendment, the 25 million now will be evenly split, with half going to each of the two funds. He says, all I'm asking for is fairness. Senator Mike Jacobson of North Platte opposed the move, of course, saying that the gain is crumbs to the state's largest cities compared to a big deal for rural counterparts who might have smaller budgets. He said rural areas face higher barriers to developing housing, including having fewer subcontractors to work on projects, which raises construction costs. The housing amendment at first fell one vote short of approval, but lo and behold, State Senator Justin Wayne came through to call for reconsideration, which passed then on a 25-23 vote right before the lunch break. So kind of squeezing things in the wee hours of the session. Again, it's a kind of a divide, as of course those in rural areas are speaking up. Again, housing advocates said during an annual lobby event last week that they were disappointed with the legislature's affordable housing efforts this year. They said the 25 million allocated to the state budget was not new money directed toward housing, but rather a shift endorsed by Governor Pillen from the Nebraska Affordable Housing Fund to the rural and middle income pots. Lawmakers later Tuesday passed the state budget package, which is something that, again, the senators mentioned on Monday to look out for as far as the budget, which included the revised housing measure to the third and final round of debate. So we'll see if this goes all the way through, if there's going to be some pushback, some filibusters on this, as it's just now making it out of committee. So we'll see what happens on the floor, where you kind of expect things to get more and more tense as they've kind of already been this week.
Yeah. From what I saw, I kind of thought that there was good arguments all the way around. Even the rural argument was a good
Yeah, yeah,
argument. They definitely need some money, and it wasn't like Brother McKinney's trying to come in there and take that fact away. I just wanted some equity, and it was really interesting to see how that pared down and the reconsideration, which is something I've never witnessed before either. So they already kind of voted on something, and it was super close. Then I saw a second vote happen, and it was like Senator Wayne pulled his vote, in order to make room. There was a lot of maneuvering going on, and this whole let's do a reconsideration started the whole process again of people getting up and talking the argument, making their argument, and then getting to the point where they were saying, okay, let's get to another vote here, and votes started changing, and it was like you watched in real time people convincing other people of things. I guess is how
Hmm.
that worked. And I also want to mention it wasn't just, you know, that headline was a little bit sensational because
Yeah.
it wasn't just rural versus. There was a lot of efforts from a lot of senators to be like, let's not make this a rural versus urban situation here.
Okay. That's
This is
good.
this is something different. Yeah. So it was really interesting to just watch the process, and it happened really fast. Like I said, this all went down even before lunch. It
Hmm.
happened really fast. It's interesting to see. But Brother McKinney, man, stood his ground. He was like, I'm not trying to take nothing away from nobody. I just want equity. Like, let's just have some equity. Like, if we're gonna approach housing situation, that's all throughout the state, and very much so in my district, which is the poorest district in the state. So let's I'm gonna say it every time. Let's have some equity. Even the Republican senators would come in and say, "Hey, man, I applaud him. I don't agree with him, and I'm going to vote against it, but I applaud him for his tenacity. He's going for it for his community." They was even acknowledging that on the floor. So
Hmm.
really interesting one there. Appreciate that. Anthony Rogers Wright in the chat says the issue is literally black and white. Big up to Senator McKinney for stepping up. Kind of feels like that, man. Kind of comes down to that,
A little bit.
black and white. We kind of think about rural Nebraska is like where a whole lot of white folks are. There's people of color out there too. There's some black folks
Hmm.
out there too, but for the most part, the culture is farmland, and the housing is sparse, and it's in to their point. There's a lot of low income jobs and people and stuff out in rural areas that don't get a lot of help and support. So it was never that anybody was trying to take anything away from them. But we also got some issues here. You got 25 million, 5 million going to the greater Omaha area, and
Right.
20 million going to rural. Didn't feel fair. So you just wanted some fairness, and guess everybody else understood and wanted that too.
Yeah, but again, we'll see how this makes its way through. The other stages of the legislature. Again, it's just really making it out of the appropriations committee. So it has not yet gone all the way through. There's still opportunity for pushbacks, still opportunity for amendments. So this is something that we will keep our eyes on. But I did also want to kind of lay out something that we learned from actually the conversation with Brother Don Curry.
Mm.
How some of these affordable housing funds are actually making their way to the community. How they're making how we will see this in real time. Again, he kind of tipped us off that there is funding available through Front Porch Investments, which again we just learned that Sister Bree Full is a part of. So we definitely would like to talk to her, get more information. But as we understand now, there are opportunities for individuals who are looking to maybe purchase some land through the land bank, or if you have already acquired land from a family member or other things and you want to develop on it. Apparently, there are some opportunities to gather some funds from Front Porch. And again, Front Porch is getting those funds from this type of legislation. Remember, they just got 20 million in housing, and I'm pretty sure another part of this 7.5 that Senator McKinney just got will make its way to Front Porch as well.
Hmm. There was even some arguments in there, man. A couple people was like, "Didn't y'all just get 450 million?" I mean, it was it was like,
Man,
didn't you
so
just get some money?
So to that point, that's interesting too, because again, if you look at the who's leading the DED, the head of the DED, again was before it was Brother Tony Goins, and then he, that whole situation happened. He was, he stepped down kind of forcibly, was forced to step down, and who replaced him, I forget his name. I believe Casey Billets is the individual's name, but
Mhm.
he's a rural guy. He's from rural Nebraska. Again, grew up in the same town as Governor Pillen, which is again interesting that Governor Pillen was kind of the one who diverted some of these funds, as it was said in this article. And if you, I kind of looked into it, and Casey Billets is very, very heavy on raising funds and again, fundraising and for urban areas, and he's talking about the importance and what's going on in urban areas. And it's interesting, I definitely understand the point, but the way the LB 1024 funds came down, and some possibility and arguments about $600 million lakes in rural areas, kind of give you a side eye when you know think about rural and urban areas. So again, very very interesting. I'm glad that you mentioned that this headline was a little more sensational than was actually going down in the legislature.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely still something to pay attention to.
It was definitely East Coast, West Coast war vibe
Man,
going on, you know,
man.
type of headline. But it was definitely more nuanced than that. Anthony Rogers right in the chat says exactly. And maybe if the Senate Republicans tax the big ag cartels a fair share, that
Mm.
money could be reinvested in rural communities. It's like a
Hmm.
good idea to me. Stephen Abraham in the chat says Senator Blood is trying to pass a bill to promote African Americans into becoming farmers.
Man, barrel blood.
We gotta get Barrel Blood back on the show. It's been a few seasons since we had her on, and I know she's running again too, and got some stuff going on legislature. Might want to reach out and talk to her, but that's interesting too because you're thinking about where will African Americans farm? Of course, there'll be like I said, there's already people of color out in some of these rural areas. A lot of black people in the rural areas with other kinds of jobs, and yeah, there can be some promotion for them to do some farming, have their own farms, and so on. I don't venture far outside, so I don't really know what's going on the outskirts. I don't really
Hmm.
go out to the rural areas as much. I know that we got a couple folks that are regular chat chimers that are in like Grand Island and some other places that I'm not too familiar with. Don't really go to too much. Do I do from Brother Pena and some other people out in Grand Island? They do tell me there's a large Latino population in
Hmm.
these areas as well.
Hmm.
And I'm sure that they're doing a lot of the work that happens on farms and stuff like that as well. So like, yeah, Stephen Abraham says it was 14% now. Now it's about 2%. Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I mean, quick anecdote about African Americans and farming and things like that. Well, I was talking to a brother, and he actually kind of tipped me off to the history of the word cowboy, which is interesting. The original cowboy were African Americans. Again, the leader of the ranch, the actual landowner, kind of the master, if you will. He's the cattle man. He's the
Mhm.
cattle man.
Right.
And then you got African American ranch hands and workers on the farm,
Right.
using the term workers loosely. They they were called the cowboys,
Hmm.
and that's where the term cowboy came from.
Yep.
So you don't really connect a lot, especially growing up in urban areas, African Americans to farming and things like that. But man, the cowboys were the most skilled people on the whole land.
I mean, that's the case in every venture. Yeah, that they make us do the work.
Man.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, interesting stuff. And I also think about like this push to urban farming. That's kind of where my head has been at as well.
Mm.
People are living in these urban communities. As a matter of fact, Clarice Dombeck is one of the ones I actually I actually put together a small a short piece that I haven't yet to film with her, but this is something
Mm.
that I was wanting to film with her at one point because of the fact that she is heavy into urban farming, and is really kind of pushing the culture. And this is stuff you can do in your yard or in a lot next door to you, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
we've been concentrating on that a lot. But bigger ag is what we kind of need in the black community too, and that's going to happen in some of these rural communities as well. So something to talk about.
Yeah. Take the time to give a shout out to Captain Q, as brother Anthony Rogers, right, like to call him, our brother Kasim Shabazz, and the whole BAA, and the greenhouse that they're building, man. So
Bro.
yeah, 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 it's coming, y'all. It's coming. So definitely, the time to talk about it and is get to thinking about those things, and also shout out to our brothers and sisters on the reservations, or who are getting into some urban farming, organic farming, doing some big things as far as agriculture, getting their land back, trying to utilize that land for some food and things like that. So yeah, yeah, it's happening now, man. It's all happening.
Big push, big push.
Yep.
Anthony Rogers right in the chat says there was an effort to get more money to black farmers at the federal level. The problem is white farmers low key use the Civil Rights Act to block those funds. Gangsters AF.
Man.
Yeah. He also says, but there is a justice for Black Farmers Act still being considered for the next farm bill that was introduced by Senator Cory Booker. Shout out to Cory Booker. That's
Okay.
what's up. Kimber says, I suggest a trip to Grand Island and Scottsbluff. Yeah, what we gonna do?
What's out there?
I don't like going outside. Stephen Abraham says the push for urban farming was a way to keep people out of rural areas, but it backfired because it opened the door for foreign investors.
Hmm. Yeah, we
Good thought.
have Flatwater has actually been doing a series on like some entities, individuals, organizations buying up a lot of countries, even buying up a lot of land in Nebraska. They had a whole series of who's buying Nebraska. If you're, might want to look into that.
There's memes going all around there. You want to shut down TikTok, but you want to allow Chinese government to come in and buy up land.
Man, bridges, roads, they a lot of land is owned by China.
Right. Anthony Rogers Rice is a Winnebago tribe are doing amazing work. Yeah, man. Yep. Shout out to Ho Chunk for real. Arrows 402 says a lot of the terminology in ranching is Spanish. Rodeo, lasso, bolo. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. They've taken it. They've definitely taken it. Kimber Snipes says farming and gardening are great, but still come with financial barriers, which is why people are often seeking grants to keep them going. I know. I do know. I did remember that there's like even mainstream farms are always getting subsidies here and there to keep the farming going. It's really tough. And then the majority of the stuff that's farmed here in Omaha in Nebraska is not even food, not even for food for consumption.
Man. Yeah, corn for fuel,
and for cattle. Black Dynamite gives us a good morning, y'all. What's up? Anthony Rogers Rice says Bill Gates too, one of the biggest landowners in Nebraska.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Cameron's reminded us about that was what I was thinking about, Buffalo Soldiers. Yeah, it wasn't just cowboys; it was also Buffalo Soldiers. So definitely a history. And it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. We've been as slaves. They had us do that field work. So how you gonna not know it? You're growing their food.
Yeah. There you go.
So
there you go.
Moving along, 7:51 right now. If you believe in the concept time, don't forget that we have a special guest, Clarice Dombeck. Dombeck will be in the show here a little later on, so stay tuned for her. And thanks for joining us and sticking with us this long. It is a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha. I'm trying to look at the date here, the 20th, already coming up to April, man.
The year is 25% over. Just think about it like that already.
Time, I don't know what time is doing, but time is timing. Time. Let's take a quick break and come back, man, and jump into some other stories here before we get to our special guest. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers. Thanks for all your comments. This has been a great discussion here on this one. I love it. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Chad Chimers, Ghost listeners, radio listeners. What's happening?
Everybody.
It's 35 degrees outside if you're in the Omaha area. It's supposed to be, I thought it's supposed to be warming up. What's the deal?
Man. Yeah, I've been here. It's been pretty cool out there, man, lately.
Bro. No, I ain't supposed to be cussing on this show, but we getting flurries tomorrow.
Actually, I did hear we supposed to get a cold front down here in Atlanta too. So maybe it's just a national cold front going down.
I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. Take it easy.
I went outside yesterday thinking it was going to be warmed up, looking nice and sunny.
Think again.
Crispy air. I'm not having it. So anyway, it's not warmed up yet. We're in that. I'm in this situation right now. Nobody with the rest of y'all, but I'm in the situation where like the air be on in the day and the heat be on in the evening, and I don't know what I'm doing to the system, but we can't. The system's like, would you put me on automatic? Nope, can't do it yet.
Man.
Yeah, man, it's craziness.
Check on your loved ones.
Stephen Abraham in the chat said Hispanic, Native American, and African Americans were enslaved together. Of course, there's going to be language intertwined with the systems of communication purposes.
Yeah, we all cousins.
With one system of communication purposes, right? All family. Juan Lewis says they messed up when they shipped all the industrial jobs to other countries, taught them all the skills and technology, and now they want to cry about it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, man. Hop the like button, Ariel's 402. Appreciate you. And just a reminder too, we're doing headlines on TikTok. If you're a person that has a TikTok and doing all that doom scroll in the middle of the night, you might as well go ahead and put First Guy Omaha in there, and get in, check out your local headlines as well on there. And if you're not a TikTok person, we are putting some of those things on YouTube as well. So kind of focusing on YouTube and TikTok right now. But yes, we're going to move into this era where it's a lot of this is going to be direct conversations with each other via email. So get to cleaning out your email box now, setting it up so you don't get a whole bunch of stuff in all the time, and you can make it so that you got important newsletters coming in to get your news and all that good stuff, man. It's nothing like direct, nothing like it. Moving along, man. Like I said, we got special guest Clarice Dombeck is going to be in the house pretty soon. But in the meantime, between time, we're talking about this crazy legislative week.
Yes.
What else is on the agenda?
Man, kind of talking about, the relation between Hispanics and Natives and African Americans kind of got me thinking about this whole DACA situation. Again, coming out of Nebraska Examiner, we've been talking about it. Senator Wayne, again, introduced the idea, the concept of allowing, again, DACA recipients to serve in law enforcement in Nebraska. And state lawmakers did an about face on Monday. Yet another bill that legislators are turning their support on. Again, on a 25-11 vote, state senators removed the amendment from LB 894, an amendment that would have been approved on March 4th on a 36-8 vote. So again, a lot of senators changing their tone on this from 36-8 vote all the way to a 25-11. State Senator Justin Wayne of Omaha again proposed the amendment, saying it would help address the shortage of law enforcement officers across the state, which we have seen some other efforts pointed towards that direction. If you remember, we talked about the whole Nebraska Backs the Blue initiative, which again was an initiative to recruit officers from around the nation. And this is something that, again, Senator Wayne maybe got a little creative, maybe a little too creative for, because, again, senators are backing off. The bill was actually introduced by Senator Teresa Ebach of Sumner, Nebraska, and she voted no on the amendment 2 weeks ago. Said new information had come forward recently, raising questions about whether a DACA recipient could serve as a law enforcement officer. One issue is whether a DACA recipient could carry a firearm. Another, she said, was what would happen to what they paid toward retirement if in the future DACA was rescinded, which is something that actually Sheriff Aaron Hansen pointed out as far as the possibility of a DACA recipient being deported. Again, if the legislation, again, DACA, which is deferred action for childhood arrivals, they're, talking to that deferred action. Maybe, things could change in the future, especially depending on who's in the White House. But U.S. Representative Mike Flood of Nebraska, another former state senator, also raised questions about the amendment. He expressed concern in a press release about whether DACA recipients, again, who are lawfully present in the U.S. but not currently a citizen, will be considered a credible witness in court. So again, a lot of questions being presented, and a lot of people changing their tune. Again, the supporters of the original amendment, including Senator Michaela Cavanaugh, questioned why an amendment that passed with support of 36 of 49 senators needed to be rescinded. Again, a huge about face from several senators. She and others pointed out that 2 states, Colorado and California, currently do allow DACA recipients to serve in law enforcement, and Virginia actually recently passed a bill to join them. So this is something that's not completely foreign to other states around the nation. But Wayne said in other states, accommodations have been made to allow DACA recipients to carry firearms while on the job in law enforcement. Still, the senator said if the introducer of the bill, in this case, who is Senator Ebach, doesn't want an amendment on her legislation, he wouldn't stand in the way of removing a change that could jeopardize the overall bill. So, again, looks like Senator Wayne is backing down. But, we still, kind of the verdict is out. What do you think about the possibility of DACA recipients serving on the police force? Is this something that you support, or what do you think? Looks like Brother Anthony Rogers Wright is just saying down with the police altogether. It says less cops, more immigration justice. Okay.
Yeah. Be honest, I'm kind of. I thought things were going one way in that article. I'm a little bit confused. So the original vote was mostly which bill are we talking about? They were voting on first. That was 38-5 or whatever.
It's the amendment to LB 894. It was 36-8, which the amendment was approved. Again, the amendment to allow DACA recipients to serve on law enforcement was approved just 2 weeks ago on March 4th on a 36-8 vote. And somehow, some way, again, apparently more information has come out that they're saying more questions are being asked, and that has led to an about face of, man, several senators, and it's led to a 25-11 vote. So 10 has, it looks like 2 changed their vote, and it looks like 8 have abstained, if I'm doing the math right.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see what's going on there with that. In the chat, I see Angie Lawrenson. Good morning. Appreciate you coming in the chat this morning. Her comment was not sure why those that voted no recently are listening to Senator Flood. Yeah. Ariel's 402 says most DACA recipients have more pride being American than some Americans. This is true. I can definitely see what you're saying on that. Also, DACA recipients arresting and detaining illegals trying to be citizens. Yeah, we brought up all these questions the first time we were really talking about this. That was kind of our thing too. Why, I don't know. Why would any? It's kind of besides the point. But why would DACA recipients be going after law enforcement jobs? Who knows? And they may, they have their own reasons. But yeah, there's a lot of intricacy there. There's a lot of questions. There's definitely like questions about their citizenship. This whole thing about them whether or not they ought to carry guns is kind of a trip to me too. Like, so
really,
yeah, because when do you ever hear any Republicans or anybody talking about whether or not somebody needs to be carrying guns? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, usually the Republican argument is upholding and standing on the Second Amendment. And again, if they're not technically citizens, then I guess it is a question of whether or not they can have the right to enjoy those rights of the Second Amendment and other rights of the Constitution. So yeah, it is interesting that point. But to Ariel's 402, I believe is the one who made the comment. Yeah, to Ariel's 402's point, anytime that I hear again, DACA is the DACA recipients are the youth, the young folk who were brought into America as children, kind of second generation immigrants, if you will. And a lot of them they don't remember Mexico or wherever they came from, El Salvador or whatever other countries they came from. That's not home to them.
right.
The United States is home to them. And quite interesting when you talk about individuals who don't have citizenship but are striving for citizenship. There's tests that you got to take in order for, like, a lot of them are studying the government and are more familiar with how America works than the people who grew up here, who just take it for granted. They have to study that stuff to take a test in order to be a citizen.
Very true. But they're not technically a citizen. They weren't technically born here. And with the climate that's going on, like they just passed something in Texas where now law enforcement can just pull you over if they think you might be somebody here illegal. There's a big article about that. So the tone in the country is that they're trying to kick out all the illegals.
Yeah,
This is especially in the campaigns that are happening right now, the political campaigns that are happening, because this is political season, voting coming up. A lot of people are standing on that real hard. I'm going to deport all the. We're going to make it so we're going to deport everybody. So yeah, that reminds me, like when you said the sheriff Hansen, that was his point. Like, what if they get deported? Because it's a strong possibility with the climate of this country that they'll go back, they'll reach back that far. You know what I'm saying? So it's that debate on whether or not we all feel like, well, if you've been here since a kid, you don't know no other country, you're here. But if you technically weren't born here, a lot of people are going to be standing on that technicality.
Yeah. Again, I was gonna mention, you reminded me of if you remember the whole situation out of Arizona, or where they passed it was like a bill for licensure, or again making it easier for law enforcement to pull people over, have to grill them about their paperwork and licensure, and show your green card, and it's just very, very intrusive type of bills pointed towards, as you mentioned, getting folk up out of here, man.
Big time, man. Big
Yeah,
time.
so again, very interesting. Also, speaking of the sheriff situation, not only Sheriff Aaron Hansen, but apparently the bill is tied to another sheriff out of Dundee County, Sheriff Clinton Smith, who apparently failed to obtain a state law enforcement certificate after being elected as sheriff. He was elected as sheriff, but could not get a law enforcement certificate. Smith was refused entry to the Nebraska Law Enforcement Training Center because he had falsely claimed that he was certified in Colorado. That's according to Nebraska Public Media, and has failed to report that he had been investigated for professional misbehavior as well as sexual harassment, which is kind of going back to the questions around the Nebraska backs the blue claim. Again, all of this is dealing with trying to get more law enforcement in Nebraska. And again, some people questioning, DACA recipients, but what about the law enforcement that was born here? A lot of questionable things about them as well. So again, who's policing the police? Who's going to be on the force? A lot of questions about that. So again, we'll continue to keep our eyes on that situation.
Yep, yeah. One more thing I want to bring out about this situation, something that Kimmer is saying. She says it sounds like either no one did their research properly or someone came in and did some wheeling and dealing. And that kind of is the point on this along the lines of this wild week we're having in the legislature. The theme being that why do people change their votes so drastically? We talked last week about after Pillen he vetoed Megan Hunt's bill. When they came back and voted on it again, she didn't get the votes to be able to overturn that veto because everybody kind of changed up because of what happened with Pillen. So like this question continues, like what happens there? Like I said, the session that I saw with Terrell McKinney, who wanted some equity in the funding for housing. I saw in real time like people changing their mind, changing their votes. What changes? What makes that happen? The wheeling and the dealing. Are the arguments that people are putting forth changing people's minds? What makes such drastic shifts in voting on certain subjects is kind of like this question that probably will never get answered, but it's interesting to see like what that means to me.
Well, I think it's important when we talk about just the average everyday person, and why it is that we even talk about the legislation, talk about these bills, because again, these are laws that impact our lives. We should know who's going to be on the police force, how they're putting these people on the police force, where are they coming from, what are some of the stipulations, because these people are going to be pulling us over. These people are going to be dealing with us on a day-to-day basis, and beyond that, what is the psychology behind how these bills are voted on, behind how these bills are passed? What pressure and what influence really does come through in the legislature? If we're finding out that Governor Pillen is leaning on people, and it's not really the constituents that's pushing their representatives to make bills, but is again inside backdoor willing and dealing.
Well said.
We need to know. We need to know.
Yep. Well said. Appreciate everybody's comments on this. We're going to get moving on here. We got a few more things to talk about before our guest comes through. But thank you. If you miss any parts of this show or any parts of this discussion, please go back and check it out on Facebook, YouTube. Check out the chats. And mostly the chats are happening on it looks like YouTube mostly, but there's a lot of good comments on Facebook as well. So I encourage you to go to both of those platforms and check it out. Appreciate it. Yep. Let's move on here. Let's see. Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of good comments.
A lot of good comments, yeah. But I kind of want to move on from there, so I appreciate that very much. I see Rick Fulton in here again, try to direct the conversation. We'll to some of the things that you're talking about. Thank you. And also, go back and check out some of the things we got, like some new voices in too, like Angie Lawrence, and I haven't seen in a while in on the chat. So there, she says there's separation of powers until Pillen makes a phone call.
Man, I'm saying it's a good. Well, actually, let's go ahead and dive into it. You want to move along, dive into the next article, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Senator Wayne kind of tipped us off to it on Monday, talking about what's going on with this drug penalties bill. Again, lawmakers are trying to push to enhance the drug penalties again. That are connected to results in death and seriously bodily injury, which is something Senator Wayne said he kind of had an issue with because what if you handed someone a pill or something that you didn't know was had something in it, maybe it was laced with fentanyl and you didn't know, and that person dies, then you could be held responsible. Again, State Senator Justin Wayne of Omaha, who is among those filibustering the bill, LB 137, said he wants a comprehensive conversation over how Biden's bill would achieve its goal of reducing harm. That's the intent behind the bill. But again, we're talking about basically a bill that would land more people in a prison system that's already overcrowded. Using Biden's own words from nearly 3 weeks ago, Wayne said a series of amendments could achieve a more holistic bill, again, rather than criminalizing drug use, again, offering those individuals the resources that they need, which was the intent behind Senator Megan Hunt's bill that was vetoed. Again, Wayne said such amendments could include reviving LB 307, which fell short of a veto override last week, and various cannabis-related bills for decriminalization or medical legalization. So again, and Nebraska legislatures are grappling with how to deal with not just fentanyl, but other opioids that are rocking communities. And we talk about the crack epidemic and how that impacted certain communities, and how that conversation is changing with this whole opioid epidemic. But still looking at criminalization and of drug use. And again, this is the opportunity for us to attack it from all sides, Wayne says. Again, Hunt told the Nebraska Examiner she has at least 25 votes to revive her safe syringe program and attach it to LB 137. But Senator Bozen, who introduced the bill, was one of 7 lawmakers who previously supported, but again, turned about face on overriding Governor Pillen's veto. Again, the override fell short by several votes. Bozen says she's not in favor of actually adding Megan Hunt's amendment, Senator Hunt's amendment to her bill, though she would be willing to negotiate a compromise if the parties are willing. So we'll see what comes out of these debates. Will it be more jail time or more resources? So again, take this time to remind you, Nebraska's prison system is more overcrowded, and it's growing more overcrowded by the day. They're already planning to build another prison, and saying by the day that prison is built, the day the door is open, that's going to be overcrowded. And again, all of these bills and how Nebraska handles its drug legislation could either make the problem worse, or it could get some people out of jail, especially with the legalization of marijuana, and not just the legalization of it, but again, looking at those who are serving time on marijuana possession and marijuana charges, maybe letting them get out.
Yeah, the debates on this subject were this is where I saw Senator Wayne. He was pretty fired up. He's a lawyer. He understands that when we say enhancement, we're talking about adding years and upgrading the felony situation with people that this thing happens to. It's the same kind of equivalent of like what manslaughter really is there for, where you unintentionally kill somebody because of something. There's already laws on books that they can use in order to do that. And also when it comes to any kind of fentanyl stuff, especially if it's large scale, usually the federal government will come in and do something about that too. And so when he was asking questions of the senator that brought this to the table, is that's not enough? Federal government's not enough for this situation. Why does it have to be in state hands, and why is that important? And literally, I heard them say, "Well, there's other states that are following this model," and it didn't felt right. Straight up was just like we're following the script from other states with this idea of double. Just when they call it enhancing, they're really talking about like putting some years on you, putting a murder charge on you for this.
Yeah. That's it.
It's
murder charge.
The language is real soft, talking about enhancing your time. But yeah, so again, they kept on coming. He was fired up. Like what happens if you got you got an oxy, or you got a pill that's laced that you don't know is laced. Your family member was playing some sports, hurt their back. Here, take this so you can and then they accidentally die because of it, and now on top of that pain, you got to deal with a murder charge. There was the argument for why the state needs to step in here and put these huge sentences on people over this subject. Was just it didn't there wasn't anything that I heard that really made it justified it to me. There,
Hmm.
especially when you want to oppose all the other stuff that also could help with the drug situation, like the needle exchange program, and
Right.
and denying cannabis and all kinds of other stuff. This was just more tough on crime, soft on people stuff. And he kept saying that dude's more tough on crime stuff, keeping
Yeah.
people in
Yeah.
jail longer and the whole nine. Like here we are with that rhetoric again. It just didn't feel good. So it was interesting to watch. The senator that brought this bill was
Positive.
definitely reading from this script, reading from the thing. Like
Hmm.
whereas Senator Wayne was asking questions, real time, real talk. And it would it would come back in a kind of bottled answer. Interesting debate to watch. If you know about how to go to any, I think it's what is it, the PBS channel out here is what, NET.
Yep.
Yeah, if you go back on YouTube and watch, you can go back and watch these sessions from the other days, and go check it out. Go hear this argument, because again, this is one of those things that will directly affect Black and Brown communities first, of
Yep.
course. Yeah. So anyway, Ariel's 402 in the chat real quick says, I think this bill doesn't hold individuals accountable, but holds others accountable for their behavior. Can we hold mechanics responsible for deaths that occur after their repairs? I
Hmm.
mean, some of the things we're thinking about here, yeah, unintentional. And the biggest thing is there's a law already for this called manslaughter.
Yep.
So it really, manslaughter is if you accidentally kill somebody, you didn't have the intent, but you still got to pay for that death.
Hmm.
It's already there, so it seems like this was unnecessary. Kimmer Snipes was talking about the fire department in the chat. Angie Lawrenson in the chat says so many of these bills are handed to senators, and they file them and have no clue how to defend it because they don't understand it themselves. That's the I felt like that. I felt like this was one of those things that I mean, she obviously believed what she was here about, but the continuing reading of the the things that she would, every time she would bring something out, it was like she was reading from a script a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it kind
Because
of,
they are. Because they are.
right. I
Some
mean,
of them
like
are.
I
Yeah.
said, pretty much said that. Pretty much, this is something that other states are doing. So why is it important to put, well, that question didn't get answered. Why is it important to put in states' hands to
Yeah.
to enhance sentencing
Man.
on these things?
And it's kind of interesting. I have two quotes from Bosin and Wayne that I want to juxtapose to kind of hammer home what we mean by the speaking from the script. I'm gonna read these quotes and you just kind of tell me what you hear. Bosin said in regards to the bill, she says dealing in death is criminal and it warrants justice. Until drug dealers are held accountable, deaths will continue and drug dealers will continue getting away with murder. That's her comment in support of the bill.
Right.
In opposition, Wayne says this is all smoke and mirrors to make us feel good, tough on crime. But I'm going to hammer home every day when this bill passes. We are tough on crime, but we are soft when it comes to victims getting justice.
And with that, we'll leave it there. So, yeah, thanks for your comments on that. We'll definitely continue to look at this particular bill and this particular debate. Let us know what your feelings and thoughts are. If you don't do it here on live, of course, you can go on Friends of First Sky Omaha where the conversation continues. We appreciate it. And yeah, I can't wait to have the senators on and talk about this a little bit. For
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
Next Monday. Watch out. Meantime, between time, we got a special guest waiting in the wings. We'll go ahead and bring her in now. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Clarice Dombeck in the house. Good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning.
good morning, y'all.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are y'all
We're,
doing?
we're finally doing this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I'm
I'm
well.
so
I'm well.
excited. Thank you for inviting me on. I'm super grateful to be able to be talking with both of you and to have this discussion with y'all and the viewers of the show.
Yeah,
Appreciate
looking
that.
forward to it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm Paul's been, definitely talking about you. He's excited, but I'm kind of unfamiliar. So, for those who are, just seeing you and meeting you for the first time, would you mind kind of introducing yourself?
Of course. So my name is Clarice Dombeck. I was born and raised in North Omaha. Central High School
Ah,
is where I graduated from, Central Eagles. I also have a bachelor's of arts in Black Studies and Sociology, and I got that at UNO. And I am currently getting a master's of urban studies at UNO as well. Like I said, I was born and raised in North Omaha. I'm a creative placemaker, a urban planner, urban farmer, and community organizer.
No, part of the Fabric Lab crew, as Paul has mentioned.
Yes, I am. So I've been there since Fabric Lab opened, back in 2021, so for 3 years now.
Dope. Yeah, for those who are not familiar with the Fabric Lab crew, man, many about town, Sister Bree Fool, they get down. They get down. So definitely shout out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys are a straight up crew. You guys are like a
Yeah.
little gang over there. I love it.
Doing big
yes,
things
Y'all,
though.
y'all be traveling together. Y'all be doing some things, man.
yes. So some of our other Fabric Lab partners are Elijah,
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to Lala.
there's also Dewan Hayes,
Okay.
Preston Love Jr., Kiera Marche.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. All the homies. Okay, that's
Yeah,
what's up.
dynamic
yes.
team.
Yeah, I love that. I love the fact that you guys, there's some solidarity there, and a lot of good things are coming from the camp. You guys have been involved in a whole lot of good stuff that's been happening around town. Walking trail, some of the art that's associated with all those things. That's interesting that the crew is growing. I love that. I love Dewan Hayes being back in town and getting down with you guys, and all that good stuff. We'll be talking. We'll talk more about that. I want to get to what you're on here today for, but I definitely want to have you back to talk more about what's going on with Fabric Lab and the stuff that's happening around town.
For
It's
sure.
always been a very positive situation. We've had Manny on deck a few times too. We call him Manny About Town, and he comes on and talks about what's happening and some of the bike trails and some of the things that they've been a part of. And I think it's all positive. Even Lala's, even the festival that you guys do every year,
Yep.
huge for the block. So yeah, so we've been meaning to get with you guys on this and talk more about it. But in the meantime, between time, right now, tell us what you're here for today.
Yeah, I'm here today to share with you all and the viewers of the show that I'm running for Regional Metro Transit Authority. So Regional Metro Transit Authority is a newly elected position, and it's the governing body of Metro Transit Agency, and I'm running for District 2.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go. And it's very impressive, man. We talk about the Fabric Lab crew, and not just placemaking and not just creating places for artists like Paul mentioned what Lala and Sister Kiera Marche is doing, but getting into public service. We talk about Sister Bree
Yes.
Fool and the work she's doing on the board of the school board. Many about town, working with the city and the planning department at one point, and now you striving for public service with the Metro Transit, which again, we've kind of been looking at. We talked about the orbit situation. It's about this is a part of the Metro Next initiative that's been going on for several years, and now I did a little research on it and learned that in August of this year, the Transit Authority will be expanding. I'm kind of curious, what does that mean? What if you are elected? What area will you be governing? How wide is that whole situation expanding?
Yeah, so it'll be all 8 counties in the regional metropolitan area.
Okay.
So that includes like Sarpy County, um, shoot, I can't remember the name of all the counties off the top of my head, but all 8 counties. But my specific district would be District 2. And on the east, the boundaries are Carter Lake. On the north, the boundary is about Benny Street. On the west, the boundary is 85th and West Dodge Road. And then to the south, it's about Center Street.
Okay. So pretty much a large, almost all North Omaha, a little bit of West, South Omaha, a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I will mention that the boundaries are different than District 2 for city council.
Yeah.
They specifically drew the boundary lines in a way that reflects the bus routes.
Okay.
Okay. So just let's get into the transit conversation. Like why
Mhm.
transit is not, the most sexy position or office. But again, what makes you want to run for that? Why is transit important to you?
Yeah, mobility in transit is just a huge part of our lives. And it really just shapes the quality of lives for individual community members and the entire community. Because without opportunity for equal and safe access to go different places in your community, that could lead to just I guess I would say like potentially lead to less opportunities for individuals who um, don't have a car. It's really difficult to get around Omaha without a vehicle, and it's like we want to create neighborhoods and communities that are walkable and that are kid friendly and are intergenerational, and where our elders are able to get around with ease. And public transit is really the key to that.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
Coming from I was born and raised California. I've been in Omaha since 2010. But so growing up in Cali, there was definitely times when I did not want to deal with the traffic on the freeway. I did not want to
Mhm.
get in the car and have to deal with paying for some parking somewhere. I hop on that bus and get off into a community that's walkable, and then and that's how you roll. And I can see doing that here in Omaha
Mhm.
big time too. There's a lot of times when especially in the scene that I'm in, little musicians and DJs and things like that, man. I'm always the cat go having to pick folks up and drive them home. I'm like, look, yeah, I better take a Uber or take a bus or do something. If you can jump on a bus and hit, Zarb and Village and then hit a few places in there and jump back on the bus and go home, cool. And then that's not even talking about like going into different communities to work where all the jobs are, which are outside
Mhm.
the community sometimes too. So I
Yes.
can see that hugely. What would the job entail if you were to be elected? What would be your responsibilities?
So the responsibilities of a typical, board position. So reviewing and improving the budget, reviewing and improving agency policy, also reviewing like procurement contracts for different jobs that come up within the organization. That is sort of the scope that has been laid out thus far, but since this is like a well, since the board is transitioning, I imagine that there might be some additional duties that haven't been defined yet.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Is it a
Uh,
is it a paid position?
It is a paid position, yes. So $500 a month. And I imagine the intention with that being that they want really folks from the community who might not have had the opportunity to be able to sit on a board like that, because we got to be at work. You can't be
mhm.
missing out on money. Um, unfortunately, and like I said, I believe that's may have been their intention behind it, is so they
Yeah,
can open up that opportunity for folks who may not have been able to be in that position otherwise.
that's
Okay,
what's up.
okay.
A couple. I'm gonna jump in the chat real quick. Anthony
Yep,
Rogers Rice
yep.
says, "Thank you so much for running for this important seat. Can you speak to the possibility of getting to free public transit and a full zero emission fleet as function of larger
Mm,
transportation?" He's speaking your language over here, huh? You over here moaning already? Huh?
yeah. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I really love about our public transit system right now is that K through 12 riders get to ride for free. And
Okay.
I think that is like so cool and just super important, especially for low income students
Man.
who, I'll be honest, it was times in my life when my parents didn't have it,
Mhm.
and um I would end up having to walk home from school,
Mm,
from Central High School. That's happened that's happened before in the past, and
wow.
it's like, I can imagine the number of just the, kids, like, lives that it has improved by them being able to have access to the bus, not only to go to school, but also to go to other places throughout the city too.
One of them.
Um, yes, and then the other piece of that, a full zero emission fleet, as a larger function of transportation justice. So right now, Metro does have some buses that are zero emission within their fleet right now, including the Orbit bus, if I'm not mistaken. And I know there is ambition to sometime in the future have like a fully zero emission bus fleet. But that's going to take some more funding, right? And right now, I believe 71% of the budget for Metro comes from property taxes. And
Hmm.
then
Wow.
the next largest percentage comes from grants, and then the smallest amount, I believe 4%, comes from fares.
Mm.
So
Wow.
there is sort of like a two sides of the coin, right? You don't want to have to raise fares to be able to get to the point to have the sort of buses and bus stops and shelters and mobile phone access and all those great things that good public transit systems have. But or I'll say, and what this RMTA designation did was basically increase the tax levy to its fullest,
Mm.
so more funds can be going into this public transit system, and it's also opened the RMTA up to federal funding opportunities that Metro
Yeah.
Transit Authority wasn't qualified for, but
Oh, wow.
in the past, yeah,
Okay. So
Wow.
more funding. Actually,
more
Omaha
funding.
World. Yep. More Omaha World Herald did a report on what's coming up with the Metro Next initiative and the RMTA. And they did say that there is going to be a big boost in the budget. It says that as of
Mhm.
2021, the budget is 33 million, but under the plan, the agency will require a budget of 52 million. So again, some of those
Mhm.
revenue streams you're talking about will go toward that. I'm guessing.
That's interesting. It's only 4%. Fares only account for 4% of that's crazy.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That actually goes to a question from the chat that Sister Kimmer Snipes had about how to increase ridership. That could maybe boost that number up.
yeah, I mean, my point is, I kind of feel like it's not it's such a small amount. Like the effort's got to be really pointed towards like what you just mentioned. That now that they're an authority, they have opened up to some national funding and so on and so forth. Like that's got to happen in order for this thing to grow, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of different ways I think we could increase ridership.
Hmm.
One of them being that we need to have better bus shelters, right?
Mm,
More shelters, more stops like the Orbit. Where they have like the heated platforms and you're actually sheltered from the rain, from the snow, especially given the climate here in Omaha. No one wants to be or should have to be standing out in the cold at a bus stop or in the rain or in the snow
mm,
without any protection. And I will say that is something that Metro is actually working towards right now. They're in the process of surveying all their bus stops to see which ones need improvement. And then hopefully they'll be able to, I'm not sure if they have the funding yet or not. If they don't, hopefully they will be able to secure some more funding to be able to elevate those bus stops to the level that they need to be.
Yeah, that's my thought on exactly like why would you have to stand out in the cold like that, knowing we have the weather we have. They built them so that you just got to stand out and freeze.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. This other thing about this 4% rates for me too is got me thinking about how the previous question will this ever be a situation where everybody can ride the bus for free, knowing that fares only account for 4%. It seems like a very doable thing to get the extra funding you need to make it free. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
just some things to think about in that. Tony
Yes.
Tony Johnson in the chat real quick says, is the transit system in Omaha being utilized to its fullest? Some meetings say that ridership is high to when requesting more funding, but lower than normal when explaining costs. Which one is it? Do you have any insights on that yet before you got into the position?
I would say no, I do not have any insights on that yet. That's something that I can definitely look into, especially since I know it's been discussed at board meetings before, and that's all public information. So I'll definitely check into that.
One question I have too about it has there been any conversation here in this realm with the what's the streetcar? Is the streetcar part of this conversation at all with Metro with this transit authority?
So I have not been involved in any conversations, but from what I understand, the Omaha Streetcar Authority will fall under RMTA.
Mm,
But I I might not be right in that. That's just from what I understand.
yeah,
So if somebody
Makes
can
sense.
fact check me, please do.
Hmm.
So
yeah. We'll,
yes.
we'll we'll have more questions for you when you get elected. So then
Yes,
Yeah,
then
when
yeah,
I
you'll
have
be
more when I can have access to
that
those
part.
boardrooms and those conversations that I haven't been invited into yet.
Yeah.
yeah,
This kind
yeah,
of brings up a question. Like, I'm curious, what questions do you have, or what are some things
yeah,
that you are really interested in? Like, why isn't
Yeah.
this information available? What's going on with this, that, and the third? What are some of those
Yeah.
things that concern you?
Yeah, I'm very interested in community outreach and engagement.
Mm,
So I really want to be able to hear more from folks who utilize our public transit system. I also want to be able to hear more from folks who want to, but don't for various reasons, whether it's convenience, time, cost. I would also like to hear more from folks at Metro
mm,
about how they think their employer employer employee relationship is too.
like drivers.
Um, yes,
mm,
yes.
Mm, mm,
interesting.
mm.
Yeah, those
That
are
is
good
interesting.
questions. Yeah,
Yeah. Actually, speaking of, what the drivers are dealing with and their work experience, I did want to double back to something you mentioned as far as the youth being able to ride free.
Mhm.
And I actually have relatives who do drive for Metro, and I'm hearing some anecdotes about, some of the troubles that youth are causing on the buses,
Mm.
fights and things at bus stops. Is that something that's on your radar? Is that something that you have thoughts about, how to maybe stop, or what is Metro even considering doing things about that? What is being done about that situation?
That's actually not something that's on my radar or that I thought about before. But I guess I'm just thinking back to the times like in high school and stuff when I used to ride the bus. And yeah, we used to be on there acting in ways we probably shouldn't. And I guess my initial thoughts are as long as there isn't like any harmed, any harm being caused, then is it something that um excuse me, as long as there isn't like any real like physical harm that's being caused, I think that's something that can be addressed, I would say relatively easily, by
Mhm.
having just like more conversations, and um you know what? I'll be real. I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
I
yeah.
appreciate that.
I would say
Appreciate that.
conversations, but it's like, how would we then go about facilitating those
Right.
conversations, But that's a good question, and that's something that I can definitely um look into
Mhm.
in having these conversations with the folks who work at Metro if I do get into this position.
As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, on that tip, I wanted to jump in real quick. On that tip,
Mhm.
this is a good platform here. We haven't gotten into all the comments this time
Mhm.
because we're trying to talk to you. But I would suggest you go back and take a look at these comments. 'Cause
Yes.
there's really some good things in there that the chat chimers are putting out for you to when you get in that position. keep in mind and continue that conversation. Safety I'm seeing is one of them for
Mhm.
sure. Also, Ariel's 402. Ideas like city could give parking passes, discounts to people to park in garages and ride the bus. Lots of good situations out here, or good suggestions in the chat. Might want to go back and take some notes on those, and realize that you're not in there yet, so you're not going. We're not going to know. We're all wondering
Mhm.
ourselves. So, yeah, when you get in there, so let me jump to that real quick before we go any further on that. What do you need in order to make this run happen? How's your campaign going?
Mhm.
How are you getting the word out to get you elected? What's the strategy there for you on that?
So I think things are going pretty good so far. I announced about a week ago, and primarily thus far I've been using social media. But I think I want to say thank you to Jakeem Fox
Yeah.
for now sort of helping me, not even sort of, very much helping me in this campaign process and making sure I'm connected to like the Nebraska Democratic the Nebraska Democratic Party,
Mm,
and just building on all the relationships that need to be built, and then also helping with like a field plan and like
mm,
those sorts of things. So what I need is volunteers
yeah,
to help knock on doors. I do plan on sending out mailers, but more than likely it's going to be a very heavy canvassing effort that needs to happen. And I do
nice.
have a very large district.
Right.
Mhm.
So I love support. I would love support in that. Another great way that folks can help support me is just by sharing. If you see a post of mine on social media, I'm on most of the platforms. I was on Facebook, but my political page was removed by Facebook, so I have to make a new one. So if
There
you
you
on
go.
There
Instagram,
we
on
go.
Twitter, on my personal Facebook page, if you could just like and share. Um, any of that information. Also, invite me to your things. I think I'm a pretty well connected person, but there are so many great like community groups and just different like crews and um things throughout the city in North and South Omaha that are happening. And I just want to be tapped into that. And
Yeah.
I want to be able to have conversations with folks and really be challenged to like dive deeper into like some of these questions that have been asked today.
Mhm.
And if these are things that are important to my community, then I need to find out about them. And finally, I would say if you got the means, please donate to my campaign as well.
Mhm.
That'll help me like purchase direct mailers. That would also help me purchase yard signs, door hangers, things like that.
What's the
Yeah.
how do we what's the cash app, or what are you going through?
So I'm on GoFundMe at the moment. Clarice for RMTA is where you can how you can find me on that platform and on all platforms. I'm working on getting my Act Blue account together, which is what most political folks tend to use. So
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let
Okay.
us know, and we'll definitely push that on our Friends of First Sky Omaha and on all our platforms as well. As soon as you have a link, or make it easy for anybody to donate to you on that too, we'll put that up. Yeah, I would suggest you get a Cash App and some other things to make it easy for folks to donate to you. But yeah, we're I'm definitely behind this. The research that I did on this particular position, and thinking about what it is that you're going to be doing if you get in there. Yeah, I think you're the person for it. Anybody else running against you that you know? How many people are running for this position?
yeah, so there's one Republican that is running against
Say no
me.
more. No, I'm just kidding.
There's also there's also another Democrat, which is William King,
Oh,
and
what?
Bill
I think he
King.
talked about it on his show.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I did hear about that. I did hear about that. Yeah,
Yep.
he talk about growing up riding the bus and
Oh
things.
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that. I do remember that.
Yes. And then
So
there
King.
is someone who is registered as nonpartisan. His name is David Levy, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and he's like a big time real estate attorney.
Yeah.
He's on several big boards in Omaha as well. So
Okay. So you got a couple heads we know in the race.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
All right.
Man,
It
Well,
was
Paul.
really interesting because when I first started watching this back in I would say like November, December, before I even decided that I was going to do this, that no one had filed. No one had filed in my district. No one had filed in hardly any of the districts. And then when I went to file, I was like, oh, so there's a few other people who have found out about this and decided that they're gonna, throw their hat in the ring as well. So a little bit of competition going on, but I'm not afraid of that.
the
And
plot
and I like
thickens.
to be I want to be challenged and kept on my P's and Q's and
There you go.
yeah.
Is this
Use
your
this
first
as an
time running for?
opportunity to really grow. What's that?
Yeah. Speaking of growing, is this your first time running for public office?
Yeah, to be honest,
Okay.
I'm not even much of a public speaker. So this has really I'm more of like a researcher. I like to do
Okay.
like a lot of the background work. That's
Okay.
actually how I or why I really got into this is because I was doing research on mobility and transportation justice. And I'm like, okay, this is something that is actually really relevant to our community. And how can I push forward some of these initiatives that I've seen happening in other cities and in other states to make our public transit system better and to have a better quality of life for Black and Indigenous people specifically in Omaha and in Nebraska because we are heavily impacted as pedestrians and as cyclists by how unsafe our roads are, and I think
Yep.
having a strong public transit system is a piece of having a safer built environment for our community.
All right.
Yep.
We need
Yep.
some of them Cadillac shocks on them buses though, because there's potholes around here.
Right.
Man. It's 8:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're gonna go ahead and let you go. But before we do that, we didn't even get to the things I wanted to talk about too, because like my knowledge of you is really in the realm of urban farming and some of these other things that I know you're
Yeah.
passionate about as well. So we'll have to have you back another time to talk about some of those things. But before we let you get out of here, first of all, are you a meat eater or are you vegan?
Oh no, I eat meat. I eat pork. I eat
Oh,
chicken.
you
I
eat
eat
all the
all
meats.
of it. All of it.
Gets down. Gets down.
Yes.
Okay, well then I got to ask you, where's the best wings in town?
No, that's
Ooh. No, don't put me on the spot like this.
that's
Okay,
kind
I
of my
don't know if
question.
these are the best, but these are really good. And I would say if you're looking to have like a little bit of like an upscale date night, there's this restaurant called Salted Edge. It's actually like a steakhouse and it's
Okay.
out in like Waterloo, I want to say. But I had these like spicy Korean wings there this weekend and they were really good. They have I think it's called gogechigan paste. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's like that Korean red pepper paste and a whole bunch of garlic and they were
Okay.
very well seasoned.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, their head chef is a black chef, a black man. So
There you go.
Look,
There you go.
yes.
for more food and dating, for more food and dating advice, hit up Clarice.
There you
Yes.
go.
She laid it all out. That's one of the best
There
answers
you,
ever. I appreciate that.
there you go.
Yeah, of course.
Real quick, before you head out too, just on the camp. The reason I asked if this is your first time running, because I just appreciate that moment that we just had with you. Like, let me be honest, I don't know, because I just put it out there. We've talked to we've talked to some people running. We've heard from people running. We kind of talked about it earlier, as far as politicians and the reading of the script and being robotic. You know, man, if you don't know, please let us know. And
Yeah,
we need to know that real people are running for these real positions, that we can have real conversations with you. You're not just speaking from a script, that you're a real person, that you're really there to serve the people, for real, not just a plant speaking from a script. So I just want to say I appreciate that. A few
yeah.
people in the chat already saying you're off to a great start. Please go back to the chat. Cameron giving you a lot of resources of where to go. She says, ride the bus, talk to the drivers, go to Omaha 360. So if you're a researcher, there's some avenues to go to better prepare you for, what you may be able to be doing in the near future. So check it out. Check it out.
Yes,
And definitely come back here and bounce some ideas off us. That's what this is for too. So we know that
for
you know,
sure.
yeah, this is the place where we can go and hear from the community what your constituents, what they want, what you can present when you make that position, and also get your volunteers. You already got people in the chat saying they're gonna canvas for you, so that's what's up.
For sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all inviting me on and taking the time to have a conversation with me. And I also
Yeah.
appreciate y'all and everyone in the chat just giving me grace as I'm going through this new thing live.
For sure,
You got it. You got it. Keep
live
going.
and
Keep going.
direct. We'll have you
All
back
right.
soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace. All right, off to a great start. Clarice Dombeck in
Yeah.
the house. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. We'll take a quick break and come right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B. That's me, Buddi3 Da Gawd. That's him. We'll be
Hey.
right back. Stay tuned, y'all. Let me turn the volume up on the track. I can do that.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Hit it with the fat finger.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. We cool as Freddie Boom Boom over here, man. It's going
man.
down on a Wednesday. Thanks for everybody with their comments. That's great. You guys gave her a whole bunch of great comments, great suggestions. This is the power of this show right here, man. You can come on and talk to your constituents directly and get and write down what they want and get your whole situation happening. So I love how people in the chat saying, "Oh, William King's running too, huh? The plot thickens."
Yeah, that's a brother Shardell B. You know what I'm saying? Coming from Stable Grade. Yeah, shout out to Stable Grade. Shout out to Shardell. Also, shout out to Mr. Knight, brother Stuart D. Knight in the chat. Also, I wanted to acknowledge a comment that he made earlier about possibly having a training program for mechanics for the buses, especially as the whole situation grows. Again, we've been talking about LB 1024, talking about jobs in the area. That'd be a great avenue to, boost some jobs, man. Some more mechanics for the buses.
Come on, well, like I say, you got to put them Cadillac shocks on them buses, man, because the Starford potholes that goes on around here.
Yeah, man.
Hey, shout out to Shardell Barnes, man. Shout out to Stable Gray, man. They're helping us with the website, getting us rolling on the website, and we're finishing it up and about to drop it. But shout out to Stable Gray for the work they're doing. Stable Gray is another source. You can go. They got some podcasts and some things happening over there. You can go and check out. We need as much news and conversation as we can get around here. So shout out to Stable Gray for the work they're doing right there on the Deuce.
On the Deuce.
That's what's up. Yeah. I see Guillermo Pina in the house. Good morning to you. I also saw Gwen Easter came in and gave us a good morning. Appreciate you guys coming in. If you miss any parts of this show, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety on Facebook and YouTube. And I suggest you go to both places so you can look at both chats, the YouTube chats, the YouTube entries and the Facebook entries. A lot of good information, a lot of good stuff. It almost feels like you can build a whole campaign about the bus system and stuff like that with the comments that came in today. So shout out to all you guys for that. That's what's up. I didn't get to all of them, but man, that's what's up.
Yeah, a lot of good comments, a lot of good questions. So we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you as always. But we got a few more minutes left in this thing, man. What's the word, Paul? What you want to do?
Lightning round, baby. Let's get it.
Let's go ahead and get it. Again, a little more information. We had to do some research. We just spoke to Sister Clarice Dombeck and really trying to figure out what's going on with the Metro situation. So again, aside from those who are running for for the board. Whoever wins, again, the whole Metro Transit situation will be growing. This is out of Omaha World Herald. So again, that area will grow on August 1st to, as Sister Clarice just told us, all 8 counties in the metro area. So, if you're looking at going to the Metro Elkhorn, as Paul did, you might need these buses to expand and help you out. So,
Bro, the bus only went to like 156th Street or 160th or whatever. You had to get on the bus, go out there, get off somewhere, take a Uber the rest of the way to Elkhorn campus. So,
man,
so the first thing I hope they address is the bus all the way to Elkhorn, because it really leaves North Omaha students, kids that are going to Metro. They can't go for videography, audio. They can't go for any of the
man,
arts, any of the things, because that's where the Metro campus out in Elkhorn is the one that holds all that. So if you can't take a bus out there, you just sure if you don't have a car, you gotta. I
stuck,
guess you gotta go just stay in town, go to HVAC school if that's what
man.
you want. You know what I'm saying?
Get a trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So there you go. In other news, because this is the lightning round, moving along again. KETV reports there's an investigation in the OHA situation. We've been looking at the plot thickens and the saga continues, and now apparently there's a lawsuit that's coming out that's again allowing or requiring more so tenants to file complaints to the city before stepping in. Again, a lot of complaints that have been put towards OHA have gone on deaf ears, and now apparently there's some movement with that. Mayor Stothert chiming up again. She spoke to KETV and the planning department leaders, as in when is it time to step in on the OHA situation. And one individual says, I just knew from experience to take action and do what I needed to do as a mother. Again, that's one of the tenants. But again, the manager of her Omaha Housing Authority, she asked him to put in work orders, but still nothing happened until she took legal action in small claims court. So again, tenants still looking for redress. Booth lives in OHA and calls scattered site houses part of its public housing program. So not necessarily a tower, but other properties. In total, OHA manages over 2,500 units. So a lot of tenants and a lot of evictions, a lot of complaints, a lot of nonsense going on. So we'll definitely continue to keep our eyes on what's going on with OHA, see how this lawsuit moves, see if it stands. Again, lawsuit against OHA requiring tenants to file complaints to the city before stepping in. So yeah, the plot thickens with that whole OHA situation. And last but not least, in this lightning round, actually, we just had again Sister Clarice. She's part of the Fabric Lab team, and the Fabric Lab is doing some big things. And also shout out to Brother Xavier Jackson, who's the owner of Local Art Plug. This is a story we didn't really get into on Monday, but talking about the brain drain situation. Again, there's a brain drain problem in Nebraska. Brain drain happens when, again, highly educated, skilled individuals leave for other states. And man, transportation could be one of those things. Also, how the arts are being supported, which is something that Brother Jackson is trying to solve in the area. Again, Jackson recognizes the brain drain problem and is working to keep creative people in Omaha. Jackson is now doing this by hosting town halls, focusing on building community and helping artists develop entrepreneurial skills. He says, how do you make money? How do you structure things? How do you apply for grants? And also creating more opportunities and connections for creatives. So big shout out to not just our Brother Jackson, but also the Fabric Lab for hosting these conversations and getting down, man. Again, it's important. Brain drain. We need creative people to have creative solutions to all these problems we face, man. So again, it's all about the brain drain, trying to keep the talent within the Omaha area. It's part of the reason why I left. But again, I love y'all so much, I had to keep doing it. So again, let's fix it.
yeah, man,
Let's fix
that's
it.
what's up.
Yeah, that does it for our lightning round.
That does it for the lightning round. And that kind of does it for the show. We got 2 minutes left in the show, so thanks for everybody who has joined us and stuck to the end. I just got a few little haps going on here. That we should probably mention. Let me see if I can get it here today. What is it? Is it tomorrow? Let's see. Yeah, March 21st. Tomorrow, Supermercado. This is going down over on Supermercado. I don't know if you guys go to that supermarket. But this is Mi Casa and Su Casa, networking, tequila tasting, and more is going down tomorrow,
Nice.
4:30 to 7 p.m. This is a really good opportunity to hang out over in the Vinton Street area. There's a whole artist colony, artist scene going over there. and of course, this is south of downtown, so this is an opportunity to go hang out with with your brown brothers over here as well, and get down with some networking and things that are going on there. So I just thought this
Mhm.
is a very important thing to do. I've never seen a supermarket hold a kind of a tequila
Networking.
tasting and hangout, right? Networking
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, that's
So
interesting.
shout out to them for being inventive on that. Supermercado is one of my favorites. It's one of my go to stores for sure.
Oh yeah.
And gotta hit that in the Asian store and a couple other places in town to really kind of get my international flavors going on. So shout out to them for doing that. I'm definitely gonna try to make it myself. Mikasa and Sukasa is happening tomorrow, March 21st, tomorrow, 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. So shout out to them for that. And that's all I got to say about that one.
I guess the chat chimers are all about it. Guillermo Pena says tequila tasting. I'm
Hey,
down.
going
Brother
down.
Anthony Rogers Wright says tomatillos. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was an interesting deal. I was very happy to see that. Also, town hall that's happening with Juanita Johnson, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson. Put some respect on her name.
There you go.
March 26th. This is happening at 5:30. I'm happy that you guys put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha and send it to us early so we can make sure we get the word out. Join us at Metropolitan Community College Digital Express, 5300 North 30th Street, Building 10, Room 1.
Need the
20
readers.
125. Look, uh, you just make sure your glasses stay on. Talking about me and my readers.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
trying to call me old sucker. Good
yeah,
job, turkey.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I leave the reading to you.
Shout out to Juanita Johnson, man, for putting these town halls on. I'm sorry, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson.
There you go.
Yeah. Definitely a good time. Good time to go and have a conversation. It's a good time to catch her and have a conversation and talk about some of the things that's on your mind here. But there is a specific agenda that they got going on here today. City Council agenda, lead education, and Walnut Hill. So they're talking about some areas as well that they need to discuss and find out what's going on. So, yep, there it is. We'll be putting that on Friends of First Sky Omaha again. So shout out to everybody who sent this to us to be able to promote it as well. Good thing to stop by. Tamika Johnson says stop by Drips while over there, talking about in the Vinton Street area.
Yeah.
For the networking event over there at Supermercado. If you remember our man Trey over there at Drips still doing his thing.
Also, if you're in the area, it's a pretty nice burrito taco spot across the street from that Supermercado. Yeah, some pretty good burrito tacos.
About them burrito tacos, man.
Come on, man. Come on. I cut out the red meat, but when I was eating it, getting down.
Somebody needs to make that veggie burrito tacos. What I need.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to our special guest today, Clarice Dombeck came in. I forgot to mention that she's been she's got a nonprofit change maker awardee from YP Summit. Yeah. So this just happened as well. March 28th it'll be happening. Okay, CHI Health Center. So this is gonna be an event. That's what's up. We'll see what's happening. I wanted to talk to her more about this and forgot to bring it up, but yeah, making some changes out here. I'm glad to see her out in the public eye. Like I said, she's kind of like how we were, very much behind the scenes and kind of behind the scenes kind of person. But yeah, man, sometimes you got to step up and do what you got to do if nobody else is doing it. So shout out to her for coming through. Appreciate it very much. Let's go ahead and get out of here, man. It's 9:02. If you believe in the concept of time, we're a couple minutes over our agreed upon shutdown time here. We appreciate you hanging with us.
Yes,
buddy, what's on your mind? You got some words for the people?
Yeah. Actually, Sister Clarice, if you still watching, man, we apparently got to have you back. So, we'll definitely love to have you back at some point to dive into some of the other things that you got cooking on. Got a lot of pots on the grill, so I definitely like to talk to you. But other than that, thank you for stopping by. Thanks. Big shout out to all the chat chimers for, again, a lot of thoughtful questions. Even, giving her some leads, some areas to look at, some things to get into that could help her possibly, solve some problems. So we appreciate you on that. And as always, just letting your mind be free, letting your voice be heard. It's important. As you see, man, the opportunity for the public to speak up and be heard is becoming fewer and far between. So again, we're going to keep, doing what we're doing as much as we can, and hopefully we will receive your support in that effort. So thank you. We love you. We appreciate you all the same. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Guy Omaha in the morning. You can also catch us now on TikTok and YouTube, YouTube Shorts and things like that. So again, we appreciate the support. Really, we cannot do this without y'all. Truly. So again, thank you. And with that, Paul B,
Yo.
take it away, man.
If you're interested in the newsletter idea, then shoot us your email address over to friends of firstskyOmaha@gmail.com. That's where we'll collect the email addresses, and we'll put yours aside. When we're ready to launch that newsletter, we'll let you know. And until then, we appreciate everybody who's participated here on all the social media platforms where we are. Another reminder, hit us up on TikTok where you can get your news briefs as well. And also on YouTube, check out our YouTube shorts. Definitely get some views over there, and hit the like and subscribe and the bell. Anthony Rogers Wright suggested earlier today that we're his alarm clock. You can do that by hitting the bell on YouTube and getting a notification that we were about to be going live. So shout out to everybody who's done that, and please consider doing that as well. Also, please consider being a member of the channel as well by becoming a sponsor. Go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button. And donate to the cause so we can keep this thing rolling. There's reoccurring $10, $25, and $50 people that are there already. Thank you for everybody who is donating so far. And please consider doing that yourself if you have not yet. We really appreciate the help, and makes us be able to continue this whole situation. So shout out to everybody who is a part of the First Sky family, we call them. We appreciate you.
The fam, the squad.
Deborah Wright in the chat said, "Great show. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Looks like I'll probably meeting Brother Pena over here for this tequila tasting. It's going down tomorrow. I can't wait." Pop says, "You guys are a crack up. Thanks for another great show. See you on Friday. Appreciate you, Pops, and appreciate everybody that's joined us and appreciates what we do here. So thank you. Please put if you have anything that you got going on, especially any haps or any articles that you think are relevant and important that we want to discuss when we get on the show, put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page. If you haven't join that and be able to drop the stuff there, and we can continue to talk about it. Got lots to talk about in the coming days. Brother Preston Love, who's running for legislature, is going to be on Friday. We're going to talk to him finally about his run. And also, don't forget, man, we have Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne on Mondays.
Man,
we cannot wait to talk to them about the wrap up and get a wrap up of the week of the legislature. It's not over yet. So check out the local legislature. Check them out on NET, Nebraska NET on YouTube, so you can watch the thing in progress. Best is must watch TV.
Great American drama.
It's going down. Between time, we're going to give a shout out to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you, and shout out to you, the Chad Chimers, allowing us to speak with you. We cannot do this without you, and we appreciate all your comments. Go back to Facebook and YouTube and check them out. I saw Sister Clarice in the wings over there writing down all the suggestions before she got out. So shout out to her for utilizing the show for what it's for. So
yes.
Thank you. We'll see you on Friday. Take care of yourself. Make sure that everybody stays warm. It ain't warm yet.
Man,
Talking about flurries and snow the next couple of days. So watch out.
Keep it warm, y'all.
Between time. Have a good one. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any means